It is that time. I promised you I would let you know what the name of the book is that we're going to be using for the quilt along in 2019. The 4x5 Quilt Block Anthology, and it is by Carol Hopkins and Linda Coing. I think this book needs to be placed on the shelves of the Library of Congress permanently and in an honored spot. Most of our quilt blocks are square, 6x6, 8x8, 10x10, 12x12. These blocks are all 4x5. I am going to be using the quilt setting that's found on page 202 called The Sparrow's Window. And this quilt, this setting uses all 182 blocks. And I am going to endeavor to make all 182. I think this is just a very stunning quilt, and I'm going to hang it on a wall. I might use it on a bed every once in a while, but I think it's just a very stunning quilt. This book primarily uses reproduction fabrics, but you can use whatever you have. You can do it in batiks, you can do it in whatever you want to do it in. I am going to try to stay true as much as possible, not specific fabrics, but at least to colors in the blocks. Like I said, I think this book is undervalued right now. It is, there's not another one like it. So I wanted to highlight this book. A couple of things you will notice. I took mine down and I had mine spiral bound by my local printer. I really wanted the spirals that went completely around. Spiral bound would probably lay better, although this one will lay flat. I'm not too concerned about that. But if I go to fold it in half, it's not quite as flat as I would like it to be. So I wish I would have done it a little bit different. But our little printer here in my little town only had this kind of a binding. I don't know if you can see that very well. So, but I would recommend taking your book down and having it bound. When I am doing the sew along, I will not be able to be giving you measurements. So you will have to have your own book. This book is copyrighted, and I'm a big proponent of not breaking copyright law. I know how hard it is to design and to come up with things of your own. So I will not be giving dimensions. You will need to have a book of your own. Amazon, your local quilt store. I would highly recommend supporting your local quilt store first. Starch your fabrics. I talked about that just a little bit ago. I will be starching all my fabrics. I probably have lots of scraps over here that I'm looking at that I will have a menagerie of quilting fabrics, and most of mine are reproduction fabrics that I will be using. Of the 182 blocks, there are only 16 that are not rotary cut. Of those 16, there are 4 that are appliqued, 4 that are template cut and then pieced, and 8 that are foundation paper pieced. And the book has a website where you can go and watch a tutorial on foundation paper piecing, which I think is a very exact way to get some really nice corners on some things. But for the most part, I think anybody could handle this quilt. I really, I think it's beginner friendly, it is intermediate friendly, and there'll be 1 or 2 blocks that will be maybe for the advanced quilter. And if you don't want to make those blocks, you don't have to. So you can make a couple others of your favorites if you want to still stay up with 182. I know it is sewing season, it is the holidays. The more the merrier. But I am really looking forward to this sew along, and I hope you will join me. And as a special surprise, I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do it yet, but one lucky person who finishes their quilt top, and it will probably have to be a certain size. I won't just do a table runner or a baby quilt, but will be entered in a drawing somehow. I don't know yet how I'm going to do that, but to have their quilt quilted for free on my long arm here in Idaho. So prepare, let's get those fabrics starched and those design boards made. Take your machine in for servicing if you need to, and let's get piecing.